Today's reading is 1 Kings 6 through 7. Solomon's first task as Israel's new king was to build the temple, and it would be a sight unmatched. As it neared its completion, he ordered 2 massive bronze pillars for the porch. Each pillar stood 27 feet tall with a girth of 18 to 20 feet, topped by capitals that stretched them to 34 feet high. Anyone approaching the temple would stop in their tracks, marveling at those towering pillars gleaming in the sun. Solomon named those 2 pillars, Jachin on the right, Boaz on the left. Now, Jachin means he will establish, and Boaz means in him is strength. Both of these pointing straight to God. Jachin looked back and recognized that God had established Israel as a nation and fulfilled the Davidic covenant through Solomon. Jachin reflects the promises kept since Abraham. And Boaz, on the other hand, looked forward, believing that God's strength would sustain Israel in the future. And so together, these 2 pillars stood as silent testimonies. Now, those pillars speak to us too as New Testament believers. Paul wrote, "But if I tarry long, that thou mayest know how thou oughtest to behave thyself in the house of God, which is the church of the living God, the pillar and ground of the truth." The church holds up God's truth like the pillars held up the temple's porch. But on the other hand, if the local church doesn't stand firm, the whole thing crumbles, no matter how pretty it looks. That's why it's important that we hold on to the truth of God's word. But there's more. Jachin and Boaz picture Jesus Christ. Jachin echoes God's kept word to David and Israel, and Jesus fulfills this. He says, "Think not that I have come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill." Jesus kept every jot of the law, ushering in a new covenant by grace. Boaz brings the strength part. Since Jesus fulfilled the past, we trust he's got the future. Again, quoting Paul, he puts it this way, "Being confident of this very thing, that he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ." So, Christ's finished work gives us confidence for tomorrow. Brothers and sisters, Solomon's pillars were not just decoration, they were preachers. Jachin signifies that God keeps his promises. Boaz represents his strength to fulfill them. This is Jesus Christ for us, faithful and powerful.